Thank you, Acting President. I'm really pleased to put forward this motion today, and it's a very timely motion given that National Skills Week will be running from the 25th to the 31st of August next week. And the focus of that is the role skills play in our communities and the opportunities that VET provides, and challenging that stigma that it's the second best. Now, in the WA context, the skills and training are central to building our workforce and shaping our future opportunities. Skills and training have always been at the heart of how we build our workforce and how we shape our opportunities for the future. Now, I just want to provide a little bit of historical context, and members, please indulge me. I know you know about my personal connection to Midland, but my dad, my uncles, my grandfather, my great-uncles, my great-grandfather, they all worked at the Midland workshops. But what you may not know is I have other connections there too, and I'm talking about my great-uncle, Ted Holsworth. Now, he was a highly successful Swan Districts footballer, but he was also the Master of Apprentices, one of only 3 Master of Apprentices at Midland in that 90-year history. Now, they oversaw the training of literally thousands of apprentices in that time, and they had a really important role. They went out there and encouraged people to take on the trades. Then they also helped with the selection, and then they oversaw their training, and then lastly they examined them before they finished their trade. Apprentices they rotated through the workshops, and it provided practical training on all aspects of the job. They learnt a breadth of skills, they learnt teamwork and the interdependence of all of their trades. Now, these were craftsmen. For example, a car and wagon builder. We've still got these wagons that were built nearly 100 years ago, and the quality and craftsmanship in these is astounding. And one of the reasons that I wanted to move this today was my dad was recently talking to the son of a friend of mine who was down doing some TAFE work for his plumbing apprenticeship, and Dad and him were connecting over their time as apprentices. And Dad was telling Matari about when, at the end of the 4th year of the apprentices finishing, the last Friday before Christmas, there was all the employers were lining up out the front of the gates at Midland to offer these highly skilled, trained apprentices jobs. They knew that they were going to get a highly skilled worker if they'd been to Midland. And so when Dad was telling me about that, lining up there, it really struck me how strong that trust was in our training system then. And the other thing is the connection to Midland. I know I speak to many people here and everyone's like, yep, I had an uncle, I had a great-grandfather that went there as well. It seems everyone's got one there. But when I'm out and about in that area, in the hills and that, it literally feels like everyone will say, when I say my maiden name, oh, I worked with your dad, I worked with your uncle, I knew your granddad. Like, it's literally still there after all these years. But the closure, as we know, the closure in 1994 under the Court Liberal government, it ended nearly a century of skills and training and identity. It wasn't just a workplace that shut its doors. It was nearly a century of skills, training, pride and identity that was taken away. Now, I'm proud of my family connection, and I'm sorry if I bring it up, but I'm very proud to be a descendant of that. But I'm also so proud to be part of the Cook Labor government, which is working to ensure that our TAFE and training organisations are enduring. They're community-embedded institutions which are widely respected by both the workforce and industry. Also, just to provide a little bit more context, the closure of Midland, one of the great training centres of our state, if you will, was symbolic of a wider undervaluing of the VET sector. Now, it's unfortunate that under successive Liberal governments have failed to see TAFE and training as an initiative worth investing in. Rather, they left it to the private sector for profit. And that's really fed into that narrative that TAFE lacks the prestige of university, that VET is not an admirable learning pathway. When government fails to back skills training, the consequences are detrimental. Through that time, enrolments and commencements plummet and the industry loses confidence in the system. Compare that to before. Industry was literally lining up to offer people jobs. Now, we saw what happened under the previous Barnett government. They hiked TAFE fees and cut funding. TAFE fees rose by up to 510% from 2013 to 2017. Some of those courses were $7,000 to $10,000 more expensive. We also saw in that same period a 23% decrease in students. It's around 27,000 students going through, and 200 jobs were cut in that sector. The policy decisions at that time exacerbated the negative perceptions around VET, disincentivised skills training, and made TAFE inaccessible. TAFE was treated as something to cut back rather than something to invest in. The damage done through underinvestment isn't abstract. It was real people missing out on opportunities and real industries left without workers. And it's created a long-term stigma. VET is treated as the poor cousin to university. Now, the State Training Board released Mobilising WA's Future, Young People in VET in 2023. And there was a few findings that I find are really quite stark. So finding 2.1, it found that VET is frequently seen as an inferior learning pathway, particularly among parents and teachers. And this is one of the major barriers to young people choosing a VET qualification. Finding 2, parents have the greatest influence on their child's education and career choices. Their lack of understanding of the VET sector and poor perception of VET impact the expectations they hold for their children's post-school study and career options. And finding 2.4, despite recent campaigns and considerable government effort at all levels, there is still more work needed to reduce the stigma in our community associated with choosing VET over university. So let's look at that acknowledged and considerable effort about what's been done, because we know more needs to be done, but we've done so much. So we are changing the narrative through our record investment in TAFE and training. We're positioning VET as a high-quality and reputable pathway towards a rewarding career. Now, first of all, let's look at lower fees and local skills. We've reduced TAFE fees by up to 72% for about 160 courses. There was 57,000 lower fee local skills enrolments in 2024 alone. And up to June 2025, almost 41,400. And we're putting these into priority courses like aged care, disability, early childhood, construction and technology. Now, I've got some local examples from the Midland TAFE. The impact's really clear when you look at that. The top 5 courses this year are all part of lower fees local skills. And these are courses in engineering, electrical and mechanical technology. Now, depending on the course, there are savings of between $985 and $1,629. And collectively, there's been over 2,000 current enrolments in these courses alone this year. That's thousands of people who might not have otherwise had the chance to take on training, now able to upskill or start new careers. And of course, we know about fee-free TAFE. That's 0 fees in priority areas. Again, there's been more than 45,000 enrolments in fee-free courses last year. And this year, already more than 36,000. And these are courses in nursing, mental health, community services and trades. Now, another example from Midland is the Certificate 4 in engineering. That's number 6 on the list at Midland TAFE. In 2017, the fee was $3,848. Today, it's free. This year, there are over 130 enrolments in this course. And that's the difference between training being out of reach and training being possible. We've also got other critical sectors. We've removed barriers for things like nursing and early childhood education. The Certificate 4 in preparation for health and nursing studies, it's free. In 2017, it was $1,040, and there's 80 students doing it this year. Certificate 3 in early childhood education and care, again, it's free. In 2017, it was $3,452, and there are 50 students this year studying it. Now, I actually met with somebody completely unrelated yesterday, didn't know I was doing this, and he was telling me that his daughter has just finished her Certificate 3 in early childhood education and care at Midland TAFE. But before even that, he observed to me how good the course was, how much hands-on training she got, what a great time she had, but more importantly, she was able to access that for free. We know these areas are so important. We need more nurses and early childhood educators. Demand's there, so providing access to affordable and high-quality training is vital. By delivering these high-quality, fee-free courses in the health and care sectors, we're sending a clear message that we value those skills. We recognise the work of VET-qualified nurses and early childhood educators. And it's all part of ensuring vocational education receives the respect, the recognition and the investment that it deserves. Of course, we're also investing in infrastructure. We've put over $200 million in across WA TAFEs. That's the largest investment ever to boost capacity and improve training for in-demand sectors. We've got $38.6 million for the Armidale Training Centre, $21.9 million for the Albany Trade Workshop, personal favourite, $12.6 million for the Heavy Plant Workshop in Kalgoorlie, and $12.4 million for hospitality and student services in Broome. So it's happening in the regions too. Now, of course, we know that young people make up over half of WA's VET participants. Our investment in TAFE and training has increased the VET delivered in secondary school places for students. Just last year, 9,820 publicly funded enrolments by school students into VET DSS qualifications and skill sets through TAFE colleges and contracted private registered training operators. We've seen an increase in the number of career advisors, ensuring students understand the full value of VET alongside university options. We've got the Career Taster program, which provides around half of WA's Year 9s with hands-on practical industry taster experiences. Since we launched it in 2022, over 43,000 Year 9 students have participated. And last year, more than 13,800 participated in the program. There's also opportunities for school students across all sectors to engage in the world of work, learn about different industries and career pathways. These are industry-led experiences and activities. The expansion of VET in schools has provided more students with the opportunity to complete qualifications while still enrolled in secondary school. It provides them the opportunity to try different courses. If they do a pre-apprenticeship, it gives them a head start. And these initiatives underscore that commitment to reshaping the narrative for TAFE and training, and it showcases the opportunity for high-quality VET education. We've also got other equity initiatives like a Women in Trades program, the Aboriginal Student Pathways and migrant and regional supports. This is about making TAFE and training fair, accessible and respected. We've got quite a number of achievements through this. The numbers are growing again after decline. Since 2017, the number of apprentices in training has grown by almost 70%. Building and construction in particular has grown by over 35%. Metals, manufacturing and services, 85%. And Western Australia achieved a record number of apprentices in training last year, an increase of over 40% compared to 2020. And I just want to touch on a particular highlight. So Western Australian apprentices consistently perform well at World Schools National Competition, and that was held in June this year. Team WA brought home 23 medals and 16 certificates of excellence. And this is a recognition of TAFE graduates in construction, health and hospitality. In my short time left, I just want to echo the statements of the Minister. The 2025 World School National Championships have once again highlighted the exceptional talent within Western Australia's vocational education sector. Our team of young professionals has proven that WA is a powerhouse of vocational education. Their success is a testament to the high-quality training opportunities and mentorship available in our state. Employers know that if they get a TAFE student from Western Australia, they have the practical skills taught well and translate into reliability, safety and excellence on the job. And this can't be achieved without the strong investments we've seen in TAFE and training. Vocational training